very refreshing to see the dance games at round one so lively today.
Oh, I know. It's great. I mean, it's usually pretty busy in here Saturdays, but I mean, there's so many dance gamers in this building, even more so than normal up here. Seeing a lot of the players from the lower division starting to make their rounds to the other games, hopping on DDR, pump it up. There's also a gold DDR cabinet here as well. We have the full spread, a veritable smorgasbord of.
There's something here for everyone. 2 Dance Rush cabs, those often get overlooked.
2 Dance Rush cabs, 2 dance arounds, even 2 music rooms of all things.
Oh, yeah.
And we're starting right in with the stream at the top of Charlene. Both players holding a perfect combo through the entire thing. This should be a very interesting song. I believe SheepyChris holding a slight lead, a very slight lead. It is still a very close match. And the signature high-stepping mind triplets, whatever you want to call them. I'd like to think I've gotten better at these, but they get me sometimes. It's a very difficult pattern. Originally an In the Groove song, then licensed for SMX. It's got a chart based on the old chart with a few new surprises. Ooh. More mines. SheepyChris with a pretty decent lead, picking up a mine here and there. Sydia still hanging in there through this very difficult section. And we got some step jumps intermixed with mines and 16th no runs. And the chart doesn't quite end until it does. There we go. And both players picking up a mine right at the very end is about the most canon event you can expect for Charlie and Wild 22. Very impressive showing by both players. Moving on with SheepyChris taking it to Sydia's Protect for the second song. I'm very fortunate the gods of hydration saw fit to reunite me with my water container. I guess it's not really a bottle, it's more of a mug with a lid, but I was quite parched. It's something they don't tell you about tournament organizing. It's you get thirsty.
Yeah, round one is already also just a very dry
It's dry, arid,
yeah,
heated. It's like a desert over here by the dance games. There's something going on with the air, I think. It's a little too hot. I think it's also because it's uncharacteristically warm for this time of the year for Michigan. I don't think the heater has quite turned off yet. So we're getting a full blast of heat over here in the area. Fortunately, we got some fans.
Not to mention the number of bodies
circulating.
in this
Yeah, that
corner
too.
of the room
You know,
as
the
well.
30 to 40 dance gamers competing and spectating. So here comes Busted Out, which is Sydia's Protect. Going to see a lot of foot switches. More of a slow, technical wild chart. Sydia pulling ahead slightly.
Another fantastic example of just absolutely delicious song selection at StepManiaX.
Absolutely. What a banger.
Sheepy dropping a run there.
Dense. So, in between all the foot switches, we also have some bracket text, center brackets with the up and down arrows mostly. And especially adjusting the new pads, new monitor, new more or less everything for both players. The Deluxe Cap does feel a lot different, both in terms of pad feel and in terms of timing feel.
Yeah, we were discussing earlier how a lot of players are using MIDI sort of adjusting to the bigger screen size.
Mini seems to be the current meta for adjusting to the cabinet. Sydia with a considerable lead now and clenching out the song for a win. We are now tied 1-1 for both players, and we are moving on to the tiebreaker, which I believe is Darut's Wild 20.
Happy to be hydrating over here too, though. It's been a long day for us. I had to bust out a Monster Ultra Paradise.
Oh, hey, look at that. You busted it out.
On commentary, drinking an energy drink. Roger Clark would be proud.
If he's watching, he may be even prouder. Sydia doing the sink down to the bottom of the pads between songs. That was a very relatable moment. It's about where I'm at as well. But we persevere, we push on. The arcade's not gonna love itself after all. So I guess.
Yeah, brackets definitely being with the pads laid out the way that they are, being sort of an obvious choice for tech in charting for StepManiaX.
Yes.
Very different from ITG or DDR or even Pump, I would say. Whereas the panels are all sort of level and you're just sort of working around the brackets that hold them in place.
Yes, on StepManiaX stages, the center is a little bit recessed, mostly so that you don't accidentally hold it down while you're doing all the other patterns. Makes it a little bit easier to feel where you are on the stage as well.
It takes a little getting used to.
It definitely does, especially if you have experience with other dance games. It's a huge adjustment. Similar layout, totally different approach. Lot more toes, I think. A lot more movement as well. I believe that's part of the design philosophy around SMX is to get players moving. The center panel being a triggerable step actually makes it so that you can't really conserve movement on.
Right.
So SheepyChris pulling slightly ahead, very close by both players. I think only a few hundred points apart. Janice 5K in the chat bringing up a startling revelation about the last chart. Busted out. Actually, I think that was something I meant to say, which is that it gives you the brackets, the up center, down center brackets at one point. It gives you the foot switches at one point. At the end, it puts them together.
Yeah.
Forcing you to deal with both of them at the same time.
One wonders if an ITG charter who would be so evil as to use such tech like Demo would...
One can only imagine.
I wonder
slow
if
down at the end of this song. Very impressive 9-9 by SheepyChris, who has now taken the match.
Good score.
Sydia hanging in there until quite late in the chart. Didn't mean to cut you off. Just remembered that the slowdown was imminent. Like, oh, there it is.